Okay, I guess we are live, and I'm here with my co-host Yasmin.
Hello.
Hi, Yasmin.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the episode of Mexican Latino Lens Live podcast. I'm Yasmin, a huge movie fan, and I'm here with Dr. Jose Luis Ruiz, who's an author, director, dentist, and the founder of both the Mexican-American Cultural Education Foundation, as well as Dr. Ruiz Productions. So, how are you doing today, Dr. Ruiz?
Well, I couldn't be any more excited because I'm. Today we have a group of young filmmakers, and I'm a big fan of the director writer Gerardo Maravilla, Jerry. I mean, I've been seeing for the past few years actually, because I've seen some of his past work, and I've been seeing how talented he is, and so we're so happy that he accepted our invitation to be part of our podcast and get to see his beautiful, very emotional film Vivir, and of course with the two stars, those beautiful stars of the film, Alex Felix and Joy Marie. So yeah, this is it's going to be a fun day. It's a very young, youthful day with future superstars, and we're excited to have it. So how you doing, Jerry? How's it going today?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Appreciate the opportunity to be able to speak with you. Appreciate you watching the film and having us, and grateful to have the two lead actors of the project with us as well.
Yeah. Thank you, ladies. Thank you for making the time. I know we know that you're busy. We know that you're doing a lot of important shows, but we're honored that you guys accepted to take the time to be in this podcast, and having our audience get to know your beautiful career. So let me just start first, by having a proper introduction of director, writer, Jerry Maravilla. He's has a long career by now. Although he's young, if you go to IMDb, you can see that he's been around since 2009. He's been doing. You've been doing a lot of different things, so you're not new in this profession. You're doing amazing, and you have 11 director credits, IMDb. Um,
I do? Well, okay. I think IMDb is more up to date on some stuff that I've done.
that's right. That's right. Hey, I did my homework, my friend. I went there and I saw how many, you've been involved in a lot of different, things, so and then I know that your film won awards at our last Mexican-American Film and Television Festival, and you also have been featured at La Leaf, and been a fellow on a number of different very prestigious film festivals and film organizations, and that just speaks of the quality of your work, and that's one of the things that our podcast is all about, and that is to bring attention to the incredibly talented people that our community has, and you're one of those stars, and I know without a doubt in my mind that I'm going to see really humongous things coming out. You're going to be like the next Tim Burton, in the film industry. So I
I
can
got the
see a lot of
hair.
exciting things. Sorry?
So I got the right hair for that one.
Yeah. But it's not intentional, by the way, Jerry.
Yeah. No, my hair is just naturally unruly. I've stopped trying to fight it and just kind of do its own thing, and it manages to fit
Hey, you know
the
what? And
mad
it looks
scientist
cool.
look.
And it
So
looks cool. That's awesome. So I know you're Mexican American. You grew up here in Los Angeles, in the Valley, and
yeah, yeah, in the
so
San
tell
Fernando
us,
Valley.
tell the audience a little bit about how do you decided to become a filmmaker?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up here loving film, but I didn't ever really recognize that films were made here, to be honest. I went to Universal Studios, but I always remember taking the Hollywood tram tour and them talking about filming Jurassic Park like in Hawaii. So it still felt kind of like it was far away. But I always loved stories and storytelling, and both my parents worked full time, but one of the ways we would connect often would be at the movies. But it wasn't until college, where I went to Occidental College here in Southern California, where I had the opportunity to take a film class and actually learn how a movie was put together. I didn't ever use a movie camera or a video camera until really I went to college. And
Wow.
once I saw how everything kind of pieced together, it kind of felt like the ultimate version of a story. It was like, I remember working one time all night on a project in college for a film class and wanting to work more on it versus like papers. I wasn't always the most excited about writing papers late at night. And so that just kind of, I think, was the bug for me, and just started to learn and open up and look at different opportunities here. It was already in the right city here in Los Angeles, started doing internships and, unpaid work at the bottom, just to learn as much as I could and to make as many connections as I could. And I've just kind of been hooked ever since on being able to continue to tell stories.
Yeah, and your stories are really, really good. Um, also, tell us a little bit about the complexity. I'm throwing a difficult question to you, but tell us a little bit about how the complexity of being Latino in an industry where there's not that many people in power that are Latino, and we find that there are filmmakers, although incredibly talented, they have a much more difficult path than many other communities. They're way ahead of us. So, um, uh, how do you how have you been able to overcome this problem? Because you're doing really well.
Oh, well, thank you. I mean, it was interesting when I first started, there wasn't a lot, working on big TV shows or movies. There wasn't a lot of other Latinos on, as an office PA, you get the full cast and crew sheet, of everything that's on there. But I don't know. I think part of it is I'm stubborn on that front, and just feel like
I think directors have to be stubborn.
yeah, well, so like, well, I don't know. I just wanted to learn as much as I could and feel like to put together as many resources. And it's really been through like diversity programs, organizations, nonprofits, cultural institutions that have really opened up and created opportunities, for me able to be able to work on a larger scale, from, Film Independent, working as part of Project Involved, to the Latino Film Institute, being able to be an inclusion fellow, to also the Mexican-American Cultural Education Foundation, from being part of the master class and being able to, also be part of the film festival. And I think ultimately, what I decided to do was focus on writing a lot as the primary course for myself, because it was the cheapest thing to do and to focus on. I didn't need a lot of money to write a story. And so I also felt like I learned in production that having a really strong story, if you can make it as undeniable as you can, then you can usually find people to help you make it in some capacity. And so I think focusing on the writing and then being able to partner with great other artists who are in our community, such as Alex and Joey, and producer Evelyn Martinez, who's Mexican American, and our cinematographer Maricela Beatriz Mendez, who's a Chicana as well. Like the talent is here and there, and it's just
Oh
about
my
finding
gosh, we
the
have
stories to
so
connect.
much talent.
Yeah.
The vampire, Joy Marie Urbina. Um, how you doing, Joy Marie?
Hi, I'm good. How are y'all?
How you all? Wow, Texan. What part of Texas?
I'm from Houston, born and
Houston.
raised Houston, but
Nice,
I have family all over. So
nice, nice. Um, so how long have you? I mean, how long have you been a vampire? How long have
well,
you been an actress?
it's funny you ask. No, I'm just kidding. Well, I'm just kidding. I love vampires. I love all of the mystical creature stuff. But for acting, honestly, I went to I got my degree from Texas State
Mm-hmm.
back in college. But before that, I always, when you love acting, but you didn't know it's acting. Like my dad and like my brothers, we'd play around. He would be like, "Oh, let's act out scenes." Like we would just copy stuff. And so my brothers, like literally
Wow.
home videos of us just doing what we saw on TV, just playing and acting out scenes. And we loved Jerry Lewis. My dad like raised us on the classics. So I would have to say it started with my dad and my brothers just goofing off with like the family, camcorder. So
Oh,
that's where it started. And then I didn't know until I got older that I was like, oh, I can do this, like do this for a living, like choose this as a career. And it just kind of happened and found myself in the right places with the universe lining up. Thought I was going to do singing first, so then acting came in. And
oh, well,
here I
the
am in LA.
double talent, that makes it even better.
Yeah, but dancing,
Oh, wow.
Triple
All right, all
I
right.
can move, but I
Good.
can't. I'm not.
Very good.
Just two. I
Well,
just got.
yeah, I don't know if vampires are known for dancing, but
You never know.
maybe it'll be the next chapter, Jerry.
There we go.
Put a little dancing on the vampire. Um, uh, Alex, Felix,
The artist.
the
Hello.
the future vampire. I guess you got bitten and.
I
No,
know.
I mean, you got Jerry. You left me hanging, my friend. I'm like, I don't know what happens to the artist, and I mean, I can't wait to see. But anyway, let me first, get to know a little bit about Alex. What first of all, great job. You
Thank you so
really
much.
you're really were able to make us feel the depression, the anxiety that your character is going through at that moment, right? And
Yeah.
nicely done.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about your acting career. What you've been up to?
Definitely. Well, first, I want to say thank you guys so much for having us. I think this is amazing that, we have these opportunities to sit together in community and really celebrate who we are, especially in times like this. And kind of earlier when you're speaking to all the talent that we have, I think one of my favorite things about getting to work with Jerry is this is like our second time working together. We worked on another project together. And I think in navigating this industry that can be very difficult and very exclusionary, it's nice that we've been able to build our own communities and really support each other and really like be each other's champions. And that's been something I felt very grateful and just proud to experience. But yeah, my journey to acting was a little unconventional. I originally wanted to be in the CIA. I was like, I want to be a spy.
Oh,
I went to school for
love
political
it.
science. I know. I took Arabic. I was like, this is going to be my thing. And then I realized I didn't enjoy working in politics. And so I was like, what if I was an actor? I've always loved performing. I've always loved art and film. And I think for me, the thing that in the beginning was I thought it was very inaccessible. I thought film was something that you had to be born into or like born in the area or knowing people. And I think what's been really cool about along this journey has been just getting to know all the behind the scenes, everything that's involved, everyone that's involved, and building that community and getting to see everyone, kind of rise together.
Yeah, that's a spectacular. Very, very good. I agree with you 100%. I mean, we need to support each other, and that's actually the purpose of this podcast, and it's the purpose of our nonprofit, the Mexican-American Cultural Education Foundation, which we want to help all the communities that are not getting opportunities. We have grants that are open for everyone. We just ask for, in fact, a little commercial on August 1st, which is only a couple of days from now. We're opening our the applications for our grants.
I saw that already when I was researching, and I have I have a director who
get ready. I mean, tell your friends, you guys, if you have your stories and ready to
Gary, I
submit,
just
you're
sent it
welcome to
Steph.
do so. I can tell you, if you go to our website, you'll see that there's some testimonials of people that the grant allowed them to make their first feature, and now they're doing amazing things. So we're happy that we're contributing a little bit to that, and thank you for saying that. Thank you for being part of that, Alex and Joy and Gerardo, Jerry. Now let me tell you this. I know that Yasmin, who is a big movie fan, she was very into. She's very, very excited about this film. Tell us a little bit why you like this so much.
Well, I really like the whole like immortal meets someone that's suicidal, because I feel like when you watch a vampire movie, you're like just in the world of what they experience and things like that. But just to see someone and how they interact with someone that doesn't want to live, I thought that was so interesting, and not something that you see. It was so original. So it was really nice to kind of see how they interacted overall. Do we want to play the trailer now so that everyone can get an idea?
I think our by the way, thank you, Brandon, for being our engineer, sound and AV engineer. And you tell us when you're ready. You can play. This is a trailer, or Vivir, which means to live in English.
Who's there? Let's go! ¿Quieres vivir?
I'm a little scared. Yeah, that's very, very nice. By the way, let me say kudos to Marisela Beatriz Mendez, who is the cinematographer. Wow, Marisela, beautiful work, and also I know that you won an award, best cinematographer at MAFT 2020 this year in MAFT. So great, and Mexican-American as well. Great cinematographer, and proud, very proud about this young lady. So tell us, Gerardo, tell us a little bit about how did you come up with this idea of what motivated you to write something about somebody with this level of depression that wants to die, and then all of a sudden this happens.
Yeah, well, I think one of the things that's always stands out in stories to me are contradictions. And so the idea of someone suicidal and then someone who is immortal. And, I've had my own struggles with mental health personally and things like that as well, too. And I know that it's not always commonly depicted, especially within the Latino community. So I felt like there was an opportunity there to be able to explore, really use the tools of cinema to showcase what depression and anxiety can feel like in some capacity, in a visceral way. But also,
Love it.
growing up, I've always loved horror movies. I like vampires, I like dark things. And so feeling like there was an opportunity there too to kind of like bridge those worlds. I love horror and the supernatural, but I also really respond strongly to character and story as I
Yeah.
feel like horror movies can matter so much more when you care about the people in them as well. So that was really what it is. Like, how can I fuse my love of monsters with this passion I have for raising some sort of awareness or just getting more conversation going about mental health, and there's even just mental health within the artistic community too.
Good job with that. My gosh, I mean, of course, that's such an important thing to remind all of our community, and or especially now, the level of stress and depression is high, especially in our community. So thank you for bringing attention to this, and let us talk about it and think about it. It's very, very important. I mean, I want to see the feature. Are you working on it?
I have thought about a feature. I've been writing another project currently, but I
Um,
have this on the top of mind as well too, because you're not the first person to ask. We've been very fortunate to play at many festivals all over
mhm.
the world at this point. I think we can't officially announce all of them, but we've hit our 30th recently, and so and then
Oh,
very
I can see why.
grateful for that. And so, but that is often a very common question we get. I've gotten at Q&As or from people, even people who find us on Letterboxd, the movie review thing, and they like log our film, and some of the reviews are
Mhm.
like, when's the feature? So I know it's something I need to tackle next.
Yeah, it's so well done, and it just it leaves you with so much wanting to know, okay, what happened here, and why is she in this situation, and what's going to happen next. And it was you definitely left us hanging there, Jerry. We want to know what's happening, and I think it would be amazing. And of course, I know that you're working on other projects, which I've heard, some of your great projects, the feature you're working on. But let me ask, Joy, how do you like working? How do you like, performing a vampire? I mean, what inspired you? What was how do you get into the character?
Oh, this was like a dream role for me. It's like I grew up watching Twilight. I grew up watching the originals, Vampire Diaries.
Twilight.
This is my like thing. And I also actually believe in vampires, not to go on that thing, but I love
Okay, let's
I
not get
love
in that
we're a
in that rabbit
different
hole.
show.
That would be
Different
a
show.
different show. That would be
Different
the
show.
Rogan show.
But this was a dream come true. So when it came through, and then I met the team, I thought everybody was wonderful. And I told them, I said, even if this doesn't work out, I still want to be friends with you and I support this because I thought it was a fantastic and interesting concept with Jerry's script. So for me, getting into playing a vampire, I knew first off, just from watching so much and loving it, that embodying Vera I was gonna have to start physically. How does she move? Because it's an ethereal character. They're not from this world. So like I
Exactly.
knew that tapping into that was gonna be my hook into layering this. So how does she move? How does she talk? Nothing is normal. Nothing is
Hmm.
like a human being would move. So started with movement, and then we got the nails, the black long nails, and then just tapping into that. I would say probably the animalistic part of it.
Hmm.
And and uh and
Well, you did
the
a great. You killed it.
thanks. Yeah, so I guess movement, eyes, and just, and then of course working with Alex, she was fantastic. So we just had a really, really great village, everybody together, very
By the way,
talented.
did you really bite Alex or no?
I don't think I bit you, did I? I guess you're gonna have
Because
to
it looked like you did.
I think we had
Alex,
some
did
close
it
calls.
did it hurt?
So bad. No, it was fine. And it was actually she had some crazy she did have to no, you did bite my arm a little
I
bit.
thought I bit your
Ah,
arm.
you
You
see, I
did.
knew it.
You
I was
did
like, I
because
don't know why you're asking me, you gotta ask
I
her.
know I forgot, and then I had this memory of you like making out with my arm and like
Yeah,
the blood dropping down.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
yes.
can
the
tell you. I can
camera.
see that. I can see that happening.
Yeah, it was so cool. She had her teeth and like everything was dripping out and crazy. It was really cool. It's
Yeah,
cool.
shout out to our makeup artist, Ruth
I know.
Torres, who's also
Oh,
Chicana as
Good.
well, who did a fantastic
ah,
job.
shout out to her too.
That's
That nice
also like
job.
something that Jerry does really well, and it's not just like he doesn't just write these stories and then bring in he makes sure that like everyone from the cast and the crew and everyone is a part of the community, and that's something that's so lovely to be a part of.
Good job, Jerry. So Alex, how do you get in your character? What was your motivation?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, I think fortunately we're now at a time where there's more of a conversation around mental health, and I think we live in a world where there's a lot of difficulty and hard things. So I don't think accessing the feelings of loss and grief and depression and like insecurity was very difficult. Um, I think I really enjoyed just understanding kind of like that desperate artist and that person
Mhm.
who is like to be on the edge of like standing on a cliff. And we had wonderful like stunt coordinators, and so I wasn't actually there, but and there's a moment where they're like holding on to me from behind, but just like standing up there is a very, for acting, is a very harrowing thing. It's like, oh, this is for someone to be in that situation,
Mhm.
what is gonna get you there. And I think I had a lot of fun, is the wrong word, but I enjoyed getting to do the work to get to there.
Well, I was, I was a little bit worried that you were on the edge of the super tall building. So I'm happy that you tell me that
It was very
No,
that
safe.
you weren't.
movie magic. We did everything
Yeah.
we could to feel safe because,
Yeah, you have to.
yeah,
And then
have to.
we
I was
do
allowed to like touch something, and then they like cheated me back. And then they're like, I was like, can I touch this? And the stunt people were very nervous, but I was like, I promise I can hold on to this. But it was really fun. And I appreciated it.
We do have a question from our live chat from YouTube. We have someone saying, what were the greatest challenges with creating Vivir, if any?
Oh,
Who wants to tackle that?
um,
I'll let Jerry take that. I'm sure he.
Thank you for your question, by the way.
yeah, it's a great question. I mean, with films, there's always challenges, logistics, and things like that. It's funny that there was some mix up when we showed up on set, and like our lights weren't there, but we had
Oh,
all of our grip gear, but no lighting, and so we were like 2 hours behind, and so that was a big challenge. So there's always the logistical things, but it's really because of the team, my producers, Evelyn and Anne, who really came through and helped, across the board. But I think, one of the things emotionally that was the most challenging, to be honest, is part of that first scene in the film where we see Alex's character kind of going through this emotional, like mental health episode in a way. And I think that there was a little bit of a moment that was challenging for me as a filmmaker to one, make sure that I'm clocking the performance, that it's a professional environment. That Alex feels safe and comfortable in that environment, but also this other voice in my head. I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, why am I having somebody like recreate an emotional
exactly.
breakdown in front of all these people? And it's like, no, you got to stay focused on the story. And so that became an emotional, I think, challenge more so than like the logistical bits that were difficult to achieve.
Yeah, that's something that's one of the beauties, the magic of movie making, because when you're able to see your story, something that is so personal to you, uh, uh, you see it now performed by a great actor or actress. It's very powerful. I can understand what you're saying, Jerry. It's very, very powerful and rewarding and emotional. I remember filming my feature and seeing some of the scenes that made me cry when I wrote them, and seeing them being performed. I actually, a few tears came out, and I was trying to hide them from everybody. So I can see how you feel that way. And now, funds wise, I don't want to ask you how much you spend, but how do you? I mean, of course, a lot of our audience are filmmakers, and they would like to know what are the channels that you found to be able to, because it's expensive making movies, and a movie like yours is really expensive with all the makeup and all the special things that you have to do. So, give us a little bit of an idea how do you get the funds?
Yeah, I mean, fundraising was something that was always a big question for me, especially not coming from a very wealthy family, where I couldn't have people on speed dial that I could ask to finance movies. And so a lot of it, is applying for different grants and opportunities. Like I'm very grateful for the Mexican-American Cultural Education Foundation that provided us some funds that have helped on the film festival and post-production side of Vivir. And the initial seed fund really was like to our executive producer, Sarah Flocken, which is someone I went to school with, who gave me a small amount of seed money to get started. But then I partnered with Q Youth, which is a fiscal sponsor, and another nonprofit organization, and then utilize corporate matching through that with the fiscal sponsorship to be able to grow our budget. You know, a lot of big corporations will match what an employee gives to a nonprofit, and you can have your film fiscally sponsored by various nonprofits. And I feel like it's only been by, you have to have a film that fits that nonprofit and fits their mission and that is going to be true to what they are trying to achieve and communicate. But when you can find that partnership, it can be really fruitful for both of you, and kind of, helps them get their message out and also helps get the film made in the first place. So it's a lot of that, a lot of calling friends, family, favors, phone calls. I mean, I previously I'd worked as head of crowdfunding at Seed and Spark because I'd crowdfunded for an earlier film. And so that was also instrumental in helping me just kind of approach things from a more grassroots, like what do I actually have access to? Who can I actually call and communicate with? And how can I make this happen? And, just partnering with great producers, that can help you problem solve and figure
Thank you
things
for
out.
that. Thank you for that, Jerry, because that's very helpful for all of us. Realize that it doesn't end with you writing a great script. I mean, a filmmaker, the life of a filmmaker is hard work, and it's making, like you said, lots of calls and lots of figuring it out, different paths and channels to be able to make that dream into a reality in the screen, right? So congrats, you did a really, really great job at that. And so I'm interested to know a little bit about what's in store. I know that you work with the super talented Jesus Trevino, who is one of our mentors on our MACEF Masters program. And Jesus is a brilliant director, Mexican-American director, and I know you've been working with him on a project. And tell us a little bit about what do you have in store for us?
Yeah. Well, the project I'm working with Jesus is called Niño de Vidrio, Child of Glass, and it is a feature film. Still has a vampire in it, but it's about a vampire in Mexico who
Oh,
becomes the caretaker of a little boy who's ostracized from his rural community. And so I met
wow.
with Jesus, and then I recently was accepted into the Sine Qua Non rewrite lab, which is in Michoacan, Mexico, where I'll be going there next month to work on another draft. I developed the treatment for that in the Sine Qua Non lab, in their storylines lab, and then
Mhm.
have now continuing the process with them on that. So that's been a big thing. And then I have the other short that I made with the Latino Film Institute, Enséñame Cómo Morir, Show Me How to Die, which screened last year at La Leaf and is now beginning its festival run as well. We just screened at Comic-Con last week, which was great to be able to share it with that audience. So
Congrats.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then I guess I got to
That
write the
one,
Vivir feature after that. So I got, I'm staying busy.
you have your hands full. You have your hands full there.
Can we play one of the clips so more people can get a better idea of Vivir?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like that idea. Let's get a little bit more excited about it. And what are we gonna see in the clip? You remember?
The first one, I think it is with Alex.
Okay, we don't want to give you too much information. We want you to see it. So cliffhanger right now here. All right, it's gonna play now. Wow. Very nicely done, Alex. Um, you already told us a little bit about your, what how you got into your character.
Mhm.
Um, what else would you want to share with us in regards to your, in regards to the issue of mental health? Have you been involved in any type of nonprofit?
Well, I think one thing that's really important and I'm super grateful about in like portraying mental health in film is creating a space for like the actor to feel safe and comfortable and I always say that like your body doesn't know the difference between like what's true and what's false. And so sometimes when we are performing something, even if like I know that it's not real, you still feel the effects. And like, if you're having a panic attack, if you're having all these emotions, you're still gonna feel it. So like huge shout out to the team for making it a space that allowed me to take the time and stuff like and really get into it in a way that was like safe and felt genuine. But yeah, for the mental health side, I've participated a little bit and volunteered with NAMI, which is the National Alliance for Mental. I don't remember what the I is, but there's a lot of advocacy work that they do, and there's a lot of resources that they share. And I think that fortunately there is like a conversation being had now about the fact that you don't have to go through things alone. And I'm really grateful that we are getting this representation, especially within our community where there might be more of a culture of just kind of pushing things down or, dealing with them and being strong. And I think there is strength in asking for help and there is strength in and acknowledging that you're struggling. And luckily we are starting to see that being portrayed more in film and television.
Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, this is very, very important. It's very important to we talk to our families, to our loved ones, and we can have their support when we go through this periods of time
Totally.
of difficulties, right? Very good job. Good, very, very exciting. And another thing that you said, which struck me, very much, is the actors have to get into the characters in such deep ways that you actually go through those moments. It has to be very taxing,
Yeah.
emotionally, even physically as well.
Mhm.
So I would like to also take a look at the second clip, if you want to prepare the second clip for us, because that's also a very good part of the film. While we do that, before you push play, why don't you tell us where can we see this short film, Yasmin?
Well, they are on a festival run. I did have it ready. So they are going to multiple festivals. So if you'd like to actually see Vivir, it's going to be at the Out South Queer Film Fest, the Screaming Room Film Fest, LA Diversity Film Fest, and the Night Frights Film Fest. So if you guys want to go ahead and go support this wonderful film, I'd recommend that you guys all go catch it at the film festivals when it shows.
Nice. Yeah, I would like to see the whole thing. Okay, let's play.
Great. Well, just kill me then. Go on. Make it fast. What are you waiting for, dude? It's free lunch. Just do it.
Jerry, how do you get all these special effects? This is such a cool special.
Yeah, this was all done.
Maybe we'll wait until it's over. I'm sorry, but I just love this so much. I really love it.
Bienvenida.
Okay, now now let's chat about it.
Yeah, I really like practical effects as much, and so all of those colors and inks there are actually something I partnered with my cinematographer on, where we actually injected ink into water and photographed it at different
Ooh,
focal lengths and different film speeds. And so I wrote it that it started off red and then became like a rainbow of other colors, and then it kind of has a more violent transition there towards the end. But it was a lot of experimentation, because when you're doing things practically, ink and water, there's a lot of variables, so you have to do it a
yeah.
lot of times. And so we did a lot of tests and everything, like that as well. And we tried to do some tests earlier on so that I could also show Alex and show Joey at least vaguely what I was thinking about in my head. And then there's a couple of shots there that we did have VFX artists, Victor Velasco, very talented VFX artist, help clean up some of the things where, there's a little reflection or a smudge on the glass and stuff, just to make it so you stay intact with the world of the vampire bite.
Nice, nice. You know what else is very impressive? The music. I like you did a great job making sure that the music also was telling the story from the beginning, from the very beginning. So who was your music director?
Yeah, our composer was San Santo, is his name, is his musician name. You can actually find the Vivir soundtrack on Apple Music and
Oh,
Spotify. He put it up, if people want to check it out. He's also Mexican American, very talented. It was my producer Annie connected me with him. He had done work on one of Annie's short films, and
mhm.
I really liked what he had done. And so, it's weird. I finally met him in person, but we worked completely remotely because he lives in the Inland Empire area,
Mhm.
which can be a bit. And so we just shared ideas back and forth through email and phone calls and references and stuff. And yeah, I think he really was able to bring the tone and the mood of the piece, the supernaturalness of everything together in a way
Yeah,
that,
all the sound effects were really, really spot on, and
yeah.
but of course, I know you were, the director is very, very involved in and supporting the process, and so good job again, my friend. Very good job. Well, do we have any final words from our co-host Yasmin?
I just want to say I really enjoyed the film. I think the whole message of it was really, really nice. I think it's starting with the main girl who's kind of suicidal, and then in the end, she kind of finds purpose through her art with the vampire. I thought that was so interesting to see. But I do want to say thank you to everyone here for joining us for the Mexican-American Latino Lens Live podcast, where we spotlight the brilliance, resilience, and creativity of Latino voices in film, TV, and beyond. I want to just say don't forget to follow, subscribe, Dr. Ruiz Productions on YouTube, and we're on Spotify as well. So if you guys didn't catch this full live, we will have it posted tomorrow. And we're also on Facebook and Instagram. And next week, Wednesday at 4 p.m., same time, we will be having a live, and we'll be joined with the cast and crew of Dreamer. So if you guys want to go ahead and come watch that.
Yeah, you're gonna like that. But in the meantime, I also want to tell all our audience that you need to keep an eye on this a group of young filmmakers. I know Jerry. I mean, keep an eye on what Jerry's doing because he is doing beautiful things. I mean, yeah, every time I see something from him, is very, very emotional, and
Oh,
and
thank
I'm,
you.
I'm gonna keep my eye on you.
And also for
All,
Alex and Joey, I mean, they're two of the most talented
I
performers
was just gonna say
ever
that as
ever
well. I
worked
was
with.
gonna say
So,
they're great actresses, and I can see big futures for both Joey Marie and Alex. And in fact, I'm already eyeing you guys for my next film. So I'm I mean, you guys did so good on this one, and it really is an absolute honor for us here. The Mexican American Film and Television Festival to support the incredibly talented community of filmmakers, Latinos, of every background. So thank you, my friends. I look forward to seeing you next week. I look forward to seeing my co-host, and thank you. Have a great rest of your day.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.